So here it is. Somebody traded it in. 1970 FJ40 with a Corvette LT1 and a 4-speed. What's up, Speedy's Garage gang, and welcome back to the Speedy's Garage YouTube channel. I've been keeping a little something under wraps because it's kind of been a surreal situation and I didn't want to jinx myself. And it's all going to start at Freeland Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. So let's just jump straight into it. Well, here I am at Freeland Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Nashville, Tennessee. Let's go inside and see what they got here. I've heard they had a car I might be interested in. So here it is. Somebody traded it in. 1970 FJ40 with a Corvette LT1 and a 4-speed. What do you think about that? No, obviously I am kidding. I wish I could get the Land Cruiser too, but here's what we're actually picking up. All right, gang, here we go. First drive. My sales guy just topped it up with fuel. We did put 93 in it. No sense in going with the E85 just yet till I get the 500 miles on it and get everything, all the little fun little toys turned on. All the drag functions don't turn on these cars until you hit 500. So I'll show y'all more of that when we get back to the shop. Let's see. Oh yeah. Whew. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's a lot more crackles coming from the exhaust. That's way different than Go Man Go. And it's got 309 gears, which is different. I can tell it's shifting more often. Probably the best way I can put it. My old Go Man Go had 262, so just cruise. Man, that turn signal sure is loud. Maybe it was the same in the old car, but it sounds like it's a lot louder. What I can say so far is it's super smooth and reasonably quiet for what it is. I was wondering if it was going to be super loud. Now this one I did get the leather package, just the front seats. I did the rear seat delete, and when you check that leather box, you get the trunk lining, the subwoofer. You get a whole bunch of stuff that makes it a street car. So my goal is always to have a fast street car. If I wanted a race car, honestly, I'd build one, and I'll spend a lot more time just riding around in this thing on the weekends than I will going up and down the drag strip. If I go to the drag strip, 4 or 5 times a year, make 5 or 6 passes every time I go, what's that, 3 or 4 miles a year on the drag strip, but I'll do, who knows, 4,000 miles probably just riding around on the weekends, going to cruise ins and car shows and stuff. So I'm glad to say I don't hear a lot of noise from the 309s, positive. The throttle response feels pretty good. Obviously I'm being ginger with it today. I had to sort of get over there to pick it up from Freeland Dodge in between rain showers, and I waited for the streets to dry. When I saw on the radar I had about a 90-minute window to go grab it real quick and get it back to the shop. So took care of that, and now we're headed back to the shop. But yeah, it's driving great. I'm not going to mash down on it. We're going to wait for a sunny, pretty day for that. But so far, I'm digging it. The other thing I was sort of curious about is if the suspension would be too wallowy and smushy because it's set up for the drag strip. But honestly, I'm in drive, just regular auto drive mode. This honestly feels more like Sport did in Go Man Go. So that's a really good thing in my opinion. I was a little worried it would be kind of floaty and all that, but honestly it's pretty firm. and that's really good news. Well, there is something I have not heard about and honestly wasn't expecting. It actually has an echo mode. I have no idea why, but there you go. You can actually put it in echo mode when it's in, I guess, auto. Crazy. We'll have to test all this stuff out, see how it works. Well, I got it back to the shop safe and sound, and so far I'm impressed. I honestly was a little worried. I'm being straight out. I wasn't sure how I would like the flares only on the back. And I've been looking at pictures for a while. I ordered this a few months ago. It took a little while to get here, and I've been looking at pictures to try to get myself used to it. But honestly, I don't think pictures do it justice. Now that it's here and I'm looking at it in person, it actually looks pretty mean. I mean, look at that. It actually looks pretty mean. I gotta say, I was a little afraid it would sort of mess up the body lines. And you guys have watched the channel for a while. Y'all know I'm not a huge fan of the wide bodies. It looks good in some colors, and I tend to like the wide bodies in the brighter colors with the stripes. But this with the flat black hood, or yeah, the painted section there, breaks up the orange. And the nice lady at SRT Concierge, when I was putting in the order, taught me into that. I was debating it, I wasn't sure. Crew Chief Greg said he thought I should get the flat black hood. And when I asked her, she said, I've seen it and it's awesome on this car and it really kind of highlights the scoop. So she kind of taught me into that. Let's look at the business end of this thing. Oh my, yeah, that is awesome. And I've always loved the engine bays on these cars, but that is just awesome to see. It's, you know, Go Man Go had an airbox. This one's got the open element filter, great big old throttle body, 3-liter supercharger making like 21 or 22 pounds of boost. I mean, what else could you ask for in a, I'm going to call it a street car. There's a lot of people that are going to call this a race car. I'm going to call it a street car that's fast at the track. Another cool little detail, they actually put a 170 next to the Demon head there on the supercharger badging. Kind of neat. And all of them seem to be missing a clip right here to hold this windshield washer hose in place. So I'll get with the dealer, get the part number and get that. But interesting that all of them have been missing that from what I've been hearing. Kind of a weird assembly line thing. And I'm really curious where the ethanol sensor is. I'm assuming it's going to be on this side. Let's take a peek. I am going to guess that's it right there. Built into the fuel rail, it does have a sensor on it with a wiring harness, so that's got to be it. And all of this is way different than Go Man Go. Go Man Go had like a little plastic, almost like this PCV line, little plastic push connector for the fuel line. This one's obviously metal and got a locking tab on it. Much safer, I think, in my opinion. And all the 2023 models get this last call plaque. Pretty cool little feature there. They just riveted onto the plastic panel. And this one, I asked the dealership not to hand wash it, and actually they didn't do anything to it. And I feel like maybe I got lucky based on some of the pictures I've seen of other cars, but they told me they didn't do anything to it but pull it off the enclosed trailer that it arrived in. And it's not clean like I want it clean. You guys know I'm OCD, and it will get a very detailed wash. But honestly, for having been wherever it's been, in Canada and Michigan and Upfitter and everywhere else, it's not horrible, as you can see. So I was pretty happy with that. I was a little afraid it's going to show up with a 1/4 inch of salt on it because it's wintertime now. But honestly, it's not too bad. I see two big plastic inserts here. They've got a, looks like a 10mm bolt way up in there. I'm guessing that has to do with this big scoop hold that in place. Notice it says alcohol injected. It's just kind of etched into that paint. Hopefully you can see that. And there's been a lot of speculation. Is this painted or is this a decal? Because you can sort of see maybe a little 1/8 of an inch edge that goes around. I don't know what that is. SRT insists that this is a paint, but it looks to me like maybe they put some kind of clear protective film over it. Maybe they learned something on the other cars that have had the black paint treatment that maybe it's a little bit harder to take care of. And it gets a little wider up here. You can probably really see it right there. But there's been a lot of speculation. I can feel an edge where the black is and then another edge where that is. So it's probably painted, and then they put a decal or protective film over it to protect that paint. Let's take a look in the trunk. Ooh, I like that performance spoiler a lot better than the one I had. I like how it kicks out and back. That's a nice touch. The Dodge lettering in the back is black, which I like. There's the bananas. They were the first thing to come off. I'll call it my first mod. Some broadcast sheets. We'll definitely be hanging on to those. Original brake pedal, because I had them put the aluminum bright ones on. License plate screws. Floor mats. And there is the subwoofer. Oh, it looks like now they put the tire pump in a bag. My old car did not have a bag for it, but everything else looks really close to the same, to be honest, back here. And this one is number 2023, and that is not a coincidence. More on that later. Other differences, these have suede door panels. I think these are A-pillars, I think what's it called, and headliner, which is different from Go Man Go. Demon 170 logo on the back of the seat. I wish they had had the full Laguna leather, but they only offered that in the red, which, you know, I had to have orange, and the red interior would have looked weird, so I had to go with the Alcantara center in the seats. I'm hoping that grows on me. I don't dislike it. I just like the Laguna leather a little bit better, and it does have an Alcantara steering wheel, which is going to be interesting. I'm hoping that stays nice looking. I'm a little bit worried about that getting weird looking over time, or, you know, getting flattened out or getting dirty looking quicker than normal, but we'll deal with that when time comes. Here are the key fobs. You only get red keys with the 170, and they do have a Demon logo on the back. Okay, so that is the replacement for Go Man Go, which got stolen. If you've been following the channel, you saw that. There's a story behind it. I won't get into it today. I gotta sort of absorb everything, and right off the bat, we got to do a full detail on it and get it all cleaned up. I've got to figure out a street tire and wheel setup for it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about that. I haven't seen too many people doing anything with that yet. I plan to drive mine. This will not be a trailer queen or a garage queen. I'm not going to bubble wrap it and put it up. Life's too short for all that for me, and I've got retirement investments that I'll use for retirement. I don't need a car and what the car might be worth or not worth if I drive it to worry about. Life's too short. I'm going to enjoy it and drive it and drag race it. Modifications, I don't know. For sure a catch can. I got to figure that out. Some clear protective film for the front. I really like that on the other car. I'll probably do the front edges or probably the whole fender flare in the back, the arcs there. And my other car, I always wished I had done some of that protective film up back here, especially for drag racing, just to keep it easy to clean. It's already flex fuel. It's already over 1,000 horsepower. It's already got a 3-liter supercharger with 22 pounds of boost. I will data log the car at the track and see what the factory tune is doing, and go from there. The brakes doesn't have the big ones on it that the regular Hellcat had. They felt pretty good coming home, but obviously I was going slow, so we're going to have to see how that goes. The emblem, I am really liking that. I just think that's a really cool logo. Give you a close-up shot of that. Very cool, the little yellow eye for E85. Pretty neat. Well, I guess that's enough for today. We're going to call that a wrap on the introduction to the new Demon 170. And I didn't I couldn't have done this without help. There were some folks that were looking out for me, and I really appreciate it. There's a story behind all of that. I got to think about how to tell that story, and I'm going to. You guys have to stay tuned for that. I do need a name for the car. I got to come up with something. You know, Go Man Go was a legend, so I've got to come up with something. It can't be Go Man Go 2 or just Demon 170. It's got to be something with some character to give it a personality. If you got some ideas, leave me a comment below. I'm thinking maybe the General, maybe Mr. Lee, maybe something like that. And I will finally say that after Go Man Go got stolen, I was in a really bad place. I've never been so angry for so long in my life, and I'm thankful that I had a great wife and 2 dogs that looked after me. I mean, they wouldn't leave my side, a great family and friends. It sort of kept me from going off the deep end, for lack of a better term. And that may sound silly over a car, but to us, it wasn't just a car. And when I had the opportunity to order this one, it really helped me have something to look forward to and to focus on. So the folks that helped me get it really did more for me than just helping me get a new car. It's way beyond that, and that's why I really love this car community, and I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. It's @Speedys_garage, as well as the website, www.speedysgarage.net. Be sure to tune back in. We're going to start some new adventures with the 170.